What is up, guys? T5 Administrator here, and I have an interesting video for you guys today. I want to see your opinions on what I should do with this game, because I really like it and I want to make content on it, and I'm thinking about just pulling the trigger and making content on it. But first, I kind of want to explain it. So if you've been watching my videos for a super long time, you know that I've always I played a lot of Need for Speed 2015. I made a couple of videos showcasing some of my favorite cars that I built on Need for Speed 2015, and regardless of the problems that game had, you know, with just the driving and the core gameplay and how like driving around that game felt, I still enjoyed it quite a lot. And this game, Need for Speed Heat, I think that this is the best Ghost game that they have done. If you don't know, Ghost is who develops Need for Speed, but it used to be Criterion. Criterion used to be the main developers for Need for Speed, and they no longer develop the game anymore, and a new studio was brought in, which is Ghost. They did 2015, they did Payback, and they did this game. I'm pretty sure this is definitely their best. Receive's game is my favorite game that they've made. Payback was kind of bad, had a lot of microtransactions in it, and it kind of ruined the game. Need for Speed 2015 was a good product, but the core gameplay, the core driving, the most important part of a racing game to me, the driving, wasn't all that great. I still enjoyed the game a lot, I played it a lot, but this might be my favorite racing game. It's a bit of a, you know, some people are not gonna like me saying this, but this might be my favorite racing game of all time. Not the best, but it is my favorite. They've added like a Dark Zone division kind of thing going on with the night, which I'm in right now. Once you get your heat level to high enough, you can go and do high heat events that give you ultimate and ultimate plus parts to increase the performance on your vehicles more than the elite and the elite plus parts, which you get just by hitting level 50. So after you hit level 50, you can start going into, you know, the kind of the dark zone, which is the nighttime in this game, and start unlocking ultimate and ultimate plus parts to really deck out your cars. In this gameplay, I'm using my rotary swapped Miata, which is, if you have this game and you haven't put the 1.3 rotary in a Miata yet, you definitely need to do that. This one isn't even ultimated out. It has a lot of elite parts on it, but it's still super fun. But I just wanted to, in this video, kind of talk about my opinions on this game and why I think it is so good. Like I basically just explained the whole Dark Zone element to this game. I think it's so much fun. The cop chases are a lot of fun. You know, getting your heat level high, just the driving feels great. The cars, there's plenty of cars, and there's more on the way, I would imagine, with DLC. I will definitely be buying, you know, DLC cars and things on this game, because there's no microtransactions. The game is a true racing game. It's almost a callback to the older Need for Speeds. It's really great. Another thing, the customization in this game. Yes, this is an arcade racing game. I'm not gonna tell you this is Forza level tuning your camber and your gear ratios and your tire pressure. It's not that detailed, but my opinion on a great racing game, it has to be just the right balance of arcade and realism. And this game is that. When it comes to driving, when it comes to upgrading your cars, there's real parts. There's root superchargers, there's pro chargers, this is centrifugal supercharger, there's twins, there's you know, single turbos, and they all are kind of realistic to their real life counterparts and what exactly they do. Superchargers are better for power immediately. They have power all the time. You don't have to wait for them to spool up. You don't have to wait till you get into second or third gear for a supercharger to start the whine and start making that cool supercharger noise. And then the turbos, the sounds are great. The sound of the blow off valves are great. It sounds super realistic. A lot of the parts and everything are good. You can actually tune the sound of your exhaust. So if you want a more stock sound, if you want, less overrun and poppiness, if you want super aggressive, sound, or you don't want like a super loud, super aggressive sound, you can tune all of these things. And I feel like this game does a great job of making the cars you have feel like your cars. Okay, the starter car that I picked was the Nissan 180SX, and I drove this car all the way completely through the story. I did not get a new car until the end of the story, and I'm telling you right now, that car's not going anywhere. I kept the stock 4-cylinder turbo in it, the stock 2.0 turbo in it for a while until I swapped in. Yes, there are engine swaps in this game. Like I said, there's a rotary and a Miata. I swapped in a 4-liter V8 and put twin turbos on it. It's basically a AMG 180SX. So if you like cars, if you're somewhat of a car guy, you're gonna love this game. There's plenty of configurations, and everyone's cars are kind of unique to them, except for the ones that everybody really does, like rotary Miatas, the RSR 2.8, with the twins on it. The normal stuff. There's a lot of variation in what everyone is driving. I think what makes it so much fun is the RPG kind of like grind with the cars. Your cars they're almost like characters in themselves. Your cars are part of the game as much as you are a part of the game. Your avatar, all the other story characters. Your cars seem like they are much more important than they are in a lot of other racing games, and it creates a different. It's like your car is like your character on Destiny or The Division. You just want to keep unlocking new things and keep getting new parts to put on this car until it's completely decked out and to the point where you like it. That's another thing. Speaking of characters, this game has, I think, one of the pretty darn good story for a Need for Speed game. You don't really buy racing games for stories. This one is kind of short, but it's short if you like run through it. If you rush through it, like I rushed through the story, mostly because I kind of enjoyed the story. I'm a simple dude. You don't need a crazy story to impress me. I'll be pretty entertained by, by run-of-the-mill storylines. It's fine. It's just entertainment for a period in the game. And then once you get towards the end game and level 50, you start to do the fun, like Dark Zone kind of night races and getting the volatile parts and having to get away from heat level 5 with your Miata so that you can get your part back to the shop and you can equip it on whatever car you want to equip it on. And that's another thing. The heat levels at night, it's a multiplier. It goes 1 through 5. The more rep you earn at night, the higher the heat level goes, and then the more rep that will turn into when you end up going back to the garage. So if you make 100K and you've got heat level 4, you're gonna get 400K for the night, and that's gonna go towards your rep. And in the daytime you make bank or money. In the daytime you do events. The events give you a decent amount of money in this game. It's very easy to build up stacks so that you can go buy that Evo that you want, that Corvette that you want, that that Mustang GT that you want, any of the cars. So it's a good balance. You know, you make the money by the day, you make the rep by the night. You got to balance that, balance the gameplay out evenly, and it creates a cool dynamic. There's no day-night cycle. You have to like switch, so you can play day as long as you want. You can play the nighttime. You can play night as long as you want, and there's nothing stopping you at all. Nothing stopping you at all. Like I said, the driving is great, the customization is great. So if you like racing games and you like cars, this is a perfect game for you, especially if you have a decent amount of time on your hands for you to grind out to level 50. And you know, I'm in the process of trying to grind out and get all the ultimate and ultimate plus parts, and then I'll pretty much be through a lot of the progression. But this stuff is not quick. Okay, I've probably been playing for about 3 or 4 hours pretty much every day this week, coming home from school, and then on the weekends I play. On like this weekend I played a lot. You know, Saturday morning I was level 35. I got back from basketball tryouts, my second day of basketball tryouts, and I came here. I got back probably 11:30, and I went hard on this game until I got to level 50, and that was around 3 o'clock, and then I started trying to go for the ultimate parts, and that's what I'm in the process of doing now. So I don't have an exact hour, like a counter like Origins has, because I'm on PS4, but I'm not really gonna try to predict, but it hasn't been a quick process. Okay, it took time, it took effort, but I enjoyed all of it. That's what I'll tell you. There was not a point in this game where I was not enjoying myself. I enjoy myself at night, I enjoy myself in the daytime. The game is insanely fun. It is really good. There's no microtransactions. EA didn't get their hands on it. The game is good. There's no microtransactions. Okay. In fact, there's a deluxe upgrade for $10 more. The deluxe edition is $70, and it gives you an i8, a Corvette Grand Sport, 2 Evos, and a C63 AMG Sports Coupe from Mercedes. So you get some cars from there. Now, unfortunately, you can't customize those cars in terms of cosmetically. They have to stay the same in the way they look, but you can upgrade those cars in terms of performance a lot. So I got the ZR1, the Grand Sport, and the Corvette Z06, and they're all pretty good. But should you buy this game? Yes. That's all for today, guys. Peace out. I might do another video on Maximum Football 2019. Maybe. Just maybe.